Hello and welcome to Motivational Monday. I'm Dr. Lisa. It is a late Monday, but it is still Monday. So here we are and here we go. Today I want to talk about self-esteem. This is an exercise I did with some of my clients at work. So this packet that I have, I'm not sure where it came from. There's no identification marks. There's no one that I can quote or tell you where to go find this information, but it was good information, so I would like to share it with you. So self-esteem. Self-esteem is defined as confidence in one's own worth or abilities. How we feel about ourselves critically influences virtually every aspect of our life. Our self-esteem influences everything from the way we function at work, in relationships, as a parent, and also what we accomplish in life. Every response we make in life, every goal we set, is shaped by who and what we think we are. Thus, self-esteem is a major key to our success, failure, and the level of our accomplishments. So, as we talk about self-esteem and thinking about how we think of ourselves, it is very important to identify things that we know that we do great. We have talked about this previously, weeks ago, things that we know that we do great, wonderful things about ourselves, self-affirmation. So one of the exercises that is in this packet is 5 things I like about myself. So this is going to be the first thing that I encourage you to do in the chat is to share 5 things that you like about yourself. The things that I wrote that I like about Dr. Lisa, my personality, for number one. I believe that I am friendly. I believe I'm outgoing. I always smile at people, and I always try to make people feel as welcome as possible, whether it's in my home, whether it's at work, or even out. I always try to be friendly and make people feel accepted and wanted and happy in my presence. The next thing, I'm a good friend. I believe that I go out of the way to make sure that my friends are taken care of, have what they need, feel special, and also feel loved. Third thing, I'm a good cook. I don't know if that's biased or not, but I've been told I'm a good cook, and I believe I'm a good cook. I have my specialties, and for those of you all who have been following me for a little while know I'm doing healthier. So I'm trying to take some of those old-time recipes that I've been cooking for years and make them healthier. But I do believe I'm a good cook, and I believe I'm getting better at the healthier version of my dishes. I am a creative person. I know I can knit my scarves. I think I make some really, really nice scarves. I've had a couple that have auctioned off and did really well in the auction. I've had people ask me to knit the scarves that I make for them. I put my creative flair on them that make them different and unique from anything else that you could ever find in the store or any other creator or maker of scarves. Also feel that I have other things in decorative, in writing, poetry. I have different areas. My garden outside, I believe I'm creative with that. My lights, you can see the blue lights out there creating a nice ambiance and environment on the balcony. And then I also believe that I have a green thumb. I love my garden. I love how I grow my flowers and my vegetables. Although this year I didn't do as many vegetables as I did last year, but I love doing the peppers, the tomatoes, the different things. I did a carrot last year. It was like a half a carrot. I didn't do that well. It was my first time doing a carrot, but I think I needed a bigger pot so it can expand. But other than that, I believe I am great at gardening. So those are 5 things that I like about myself that make Dr. Lisa a great, wonderful, and unique person that I am. So I encourage you this week in the chat, let us know what are 5 things that you like about yourself. And we might even take it a little step further and say 5 things that you love about yourself. The next thing that I want to do And talking about being creative, there are, let's see, 18 steps to higher self-esteem. I'm not going to read all of them, but I'm going to pick out maybe the first six, and we'll chat about those just a little bit and just food for thought. So 18 steps, or we'll say six steps to higher self-esteem. So live for today. Stop telling yourself, if only I get one more promotion. In my case, I always say, if only I get one more degree or one more certificate. Enjoy what you have and be thankful for what you have and say, hey, I am great because I have done this or I have achieved this. We don't always need more. Sometimes that's the thing, that we always try to achieve more and more and more, and we're great in what we have, and we can do great and wonderful things with what we have. While there's nothing wrong, and we should always strive to learn more, to get a promotion, to do something else in life that we want to do, but we should also take time to appreciate and to acknowledge ourselves and to appreciate ourselves for what we have already done, what we have already accomplished. That is one of the things that make us great and wonderful. Set goals. In order to gain mastery over your environment, it's important that you are able to accomplish things in your life that you feel are important. One of the things that, and I know I'm guilty of this as well, we look at others and we worry about what others think are important, when really it's what we think is important. We need to set our goals based on what we think is important and what we want to achieve in life, what we want to get out of life. So set your goals based off of what you think is important. Associate with others who have high self-esteem. They always say that you should associate with people who, if you want to be successful in business, associate with those who are successful in business. If you want to achieve, something in life, associate with those who have already achieved it. So the same thing with self-esteem. If you want to increase your self-esteem, associate with those who have high self-esteem, and it should rub off on you, and you will be high in self-esteem. I lost my train of thought, but you understand what I'm saying. You should always associate yourself with those who who have achieved things that you are looking to achieve, because that is how you will achieve it also. If you spend time with people who lack self-confidence, who lack self-esteem, then you too will be in the same boat as them, lacking self-esteem, lacking self-confidence. So you always want to associate with those who have high self-esteem. Dress and look your best. This is one of the things. Have you ever, just when you dress up, you might have a favorite dress, a favorite outfit, have a favorite hairstyle, favorite jewelry. But did you ever notice that when you put on certain clothes and you just feel great and you look your best, you just have like a certain strut about yourself, a certain, hey, I know I look good. And when you look good, most likely you are going to feel good also. So always dress your best. Always dress to make yourself feel good and let others see how good you look, how good you feel about yourself. So we are moving on to number 5. Set your own standards. By setting internal standards, you'll be comparing yourself to you. That's another thing that we tend to do. Again, I am guilty of this also. We tend to look at other standards. We tend to compare ourselves to others. But really, the only person we should be concerned about is us. What are our standards? What do we want to achieve? What have we set for ourselves? We need to make sure that we are meeting, if not beating, our own standards and not the standards of others. So always set your own standards and work to achieve those. Number 6, be honest with yourself. Very, very important. Again, another thing that I am sometimes guilty of. Sometimes for whatever reason, we think that we can trick ourselves. We look at things, we set goals, we look at accomplishments, and we're not honest with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves. It's funny, in the back of our mind, we know we're not being honest with ourselves, or we know we're tweaking things a little bit and swaying it from what the way things really are, or what we really think, or what we really want. But we know in our mind what we want. Be honest with yourself. Unfortunately, the appropriate use of self-honesty is not automatic. Rather, it is an active choice. So we have to actively be honest with ourselves. We know deep in our heart and in our mind exactly what we're looking for, and we have to take time to be honest with ourselves. One of the exercises that I do with myself sometimes is I write down on a piece of paper and I just let it flow without judging it, without trying to be nice and kind to the words that I'm thinking. It's something that only I'm going to see. It's something that I'm writing to myself, and I challenge myself just to be honest and open, because we have to be honest and open with ourselves, with what we want, with our goals, with what we want to achieve. We also have to be open and honest with ourselves with how we're doing, with accomplishing the things that we're doing, the things that we want. If we're doing terrible, we have to say, hey, you're doing terrible. But then once you identify that you're not doing as great as you want to be doing, or you have challenges in certain areas, then you have to sit down and be open and honest. How can I correct this? Or why am I having challenges in this area? And what can I do to correct these challenges? The only way to correct it and to move forward and to be positive and to reach the goals that you want is to be honest and to identify sometimes the negative things. But also, as we talked about earlier today, identify the positive things. Give yourself credit for what you're doing great and wonderful, and build upon the things that you are being great and wonderful. Be honest with yourself. I'm doing fabulous at what you're doing fabulous with. Dr. Lisa is doing fabulous with her garden this year. Dr. Lisa is doing fabulous with making sure that I get my Motivational Mondays out. I think I did miss one, but other than that, even if it's late, we're getting Motivational Mondays out. Let's see. Dr. Lisa is not doing so wonderful at, I'm going to say that for the chat and I'm going to tell you later. I'm going to let you guys share some stuff with me first. All right. So the last thing that I want to do this evening, there are 100 things, self-esteem building ideas. All right. So I just highlighted a couple. Don't worry. I'm not going to read all 100. I'm just going to do a couple. So some self-esteem building ideas: smile, sing, dance, plant a flower, nurture it and grow it. Listen to classical music, but I'm going to add, listen to any music that you really enjoy. Think positive. That's one of the things I always encourage, is think positive. Be spontaneous. Visualize success. Talk to someone under the age of 6. Talk to someone over the age of 70. Just do it. Another thing that we've talked about in our previous weeks. Cook something. One of my favorite things to do, cook. And I think I highlighted a couple more. Oh, I highlighted one more. Spend an hour with yourself every day. So those are just some things. So again, this week, in talking about self-esteem, I encourage you to write in the chat 5 things that you like about yourself. If you don't have the whole 5 things, that's fine. Start with 1, 2, 3, however many you have, and start there. That's a start, and then you'll build on it from there. The next thing that I'm encouraging you to do is to think about some of the steps that we went over today. Live for today, set goals, associate with others who have high self-esteem, dress and look your best, set your own standards, and be honest with yourself. Share in the chat how you can use those to build on your self-esteem, what you have done or what you are going to do. And then lastly, the things that we mentioned, the 100 self-esteem building ideas. Share with us some of your ideas, some of the ways that you build self-esteem. You know, it can be the same things that we listed today, or it can be something different. Share with us. And as always, I encourage you to read others' posts and to comment on the posts of others in a positive manner. Because again, this is how we live, how we learn and we grow together. So share with each other, learn and grow together, and pick up that self-esteem. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next week, love yourself and love others. Do something each and every day that you love. Remember, I encourage you to do that each and every day. Do something that makes you smile. Do something that you love. Always, always, always be positive. Always live positive. Even on the days when you may think that there's nothing positive or nothing to be positive about, find that one thing that is positive, because there is always something positive. So always be positive. And as always, live your best life. So I'm Dr. Lisa. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great week, a blessed week, and I look forward to chatting with you next week and to chatting in our chat session. So have a great week. Thank you so much. God bless. Have a good evening.